All right, we're live here with All Flesh Must Be Eaten. Myself and Jeff. We are playing All Flesh Must Be Eaten, the role-playing game by Eden Studios. We are now on day 6, I believe. Except I can't spell.
Yeah.
And we're going to do a little bit of world building before we start the game here, because, you know, we need to know a few things. Like, we did find out in episode 5 that bites do cause people to turn to zombies after they die, because of the one guy that we had after we killed, tried to assist, and you accidentally made it worse. So we tied him up over here in the gazebo, whatever this is thing here, and we came back and he was turned into a zombie. So we figured out that much as far as that's concerned. And now we have a bunch of other questions to ask today.
Yep.
So, like, does the government exist? Do we know if the government exists? Now, how do you think we would know that?
So the question is, obviously, the world's basically in chaos. But is there a centralized government still? Is there someone in command? Like, maybe not the president, maybe not the vice president, but someone basically trying to rebuild America.
So, would we know that, though? Well, there's got to be some... Well, okay, so Zombie Apocalypse, we said it was at least 6 months into it, 7 months into it. There has to be somebody in the government that's trying to reestablish some type of order.
I'm not saying our characters would know. I'm just asking, as a world building, is there someone trying to rebuild America?
I'm going to say very likely, because that's generally the protocol.
Right.
Is that when everything collapses, the president, vice president will go into that bunker, so to speak, and try to reestablish America, if they've even survived.
It doesn't necessarily have to be a politician. It could be like a general or an admiral or somebody.
You like a Negan type person from Walking Dead, or the governor?
I wouldn't say someone's trying to start America on their own, but using the resources that America had to rebuild itself.
All right, I put it as very likely there's someone doing that.
I'm going to argue say it's going to be likely because they could be doing their own thing.
So you're going to say likely. I say very likely. We're going to go with likely then.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good. Now we know. Well, I mean, our characters don't know, but we know that there's some sort of government out there trying to reform.
Yes.
Yeah, fight back against some zombies.
43. Okay. Okay. So I have, does the government exist, or is someone trying to reform? And I put down yes. We rolled 43, so we got that at least.
Okay.
All right, next question is, does the military exist, like the actual military themselves?
Yeah, is there... Now, we know there's a centralized, somewhat command structure. Are we going to have to deal with pockets of military, or are we going to deal with a centralized military?
Well, if you've watched any apocalyptic show, and I'm talking about ones that are on TV just for an example, or even movies for that matter, we know that generally, and the military, when it does lose connection with command, so to speak, they do form pockets of what do you call it? Not resistance, but they do form pockets of protection for people, and they just assume was it martial law at that point, I guess, because it's military law.
Yeah. They still have their own sense of conduct. I mean, it's a standardized form of conduct, and so I would guess they would be trying to get back to one another, but we're going to see if it's all broken up, or are they centralizing again.
So, does the military exist? We have to change that question then.
Does the centralized military exist? How about that?
Centralized?
Mm-hmm. Like, all the orders coming from one spot, one place. Like DC, or a safety bunker.
I'm going to say unlikely for that.
Okay.
Because my reasoning behind that, before you just agree with me, but my reasoning behind that is everything's broken down. There's a lot of electrical problems. There's probably going to be problems with radios and stuff like that. So it's going to be hard to get orders out there.
Yeah. So they might try to figure out a way to reconnect with everyone else. But I'll go with unlikely.
No, centralized military does not exist.
Okay, so pockets of military.
Yeah. So we'll probably find, like, you know, if we were traveling around, we'll find maybe like a captain in charge of a unit, or maybe even a colonel or something like that.
Yeah. I can see that.
I just put pockets of groups. Okay.
Well, I mean, is that another question we should ask? Is there pockets of military around? I'm just assuming there are pockets.
All right, we could do a sub question of the question. Pocket. I just put pockets of groups ?
Pockets of groups.
Well, that's more than likely gonna happen. So I'm gonna say likely that the military would do that. They would form their own pockets of groups until they can get a centralized command going.
Let's say pockets of groups, say pockets of military. Because we're about to do the group question next.
Pockets of military, got it. Pockets of military.
Military.
Go. No. There are not pockets of military.
Okay. So the military may not exist in this world right now.
I guess that's the next question. Does the military exist?
Because we asked about the centralized and we asked for the pockets.
Does the military exist as a whole? Maybe? It's a question to ask.
I would say, does the military exist at all? Yeah, I go with that.
Does the military exist at all? You want me to put?
Mm-hmm. And this is to be generalized to America, because we're in America, the U.S. government.
Yeah. Should we just leave it as unsure?
I would go with likely, because there was a lot of people.
So this is what we have. We'll have to base it off of these two here, because we got, does the centralized military exist? No, it doesn't. So there's no centralized military giving orders. Do pockets of military exist, or like pockets of groups or units around or something like that? No. So they didn't form into small units of protection. No. So do they even exist at all? Or maybe the better question is there anything organized at all?
Yeah, because what my thinking is like base. Is there small pockets of bases by? Like, think of Red Dawn, but more grander scale for the pockets. We're not talking about rows of gangs. We're talking about local military when you say pockets.
Like militia?
Militia, but I would say more like government issue militia.
So does the military exist at all or organized? I'm going to put in a way, but so my theory, and I'm going to go with probably very likely, because the way the military is, someone is going to want to organize something somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I don't think the
military, we don't mean like gangs of military. We mean like people who actually want to reform the United States.
Armed forces, like literal armed forces. Yeah. Let's see what we get here. Exceptional, yes. Okay.
Okay, so yeah, we got the military in a form of somehow.
Yep. Exceptional, yes. We rolled a 15. Okay.
Because that could have been real ugly. We're trying to form the government, but we don't have a military.
So there's no centralized military. There's no real pockets of military, but there are organized groups of military somewhere.
Yeah, maybe like I say, like a sergeant or something went home, and while they were on leave, the apocalypse happened, and they just gathered their neighbors together up.
Yeah,
Kind
like the
of,
National Guard or something like that, maybe.
yeah, something. So they call their bodies up, see if they can get there.
Hmm.
You know, something to have an organization, but not necessarily a base or like a general or a colonel in the area.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Do you want to move on, or you want to continue with military?
I think we're good for right now in the military.
All right. Next question we have in the thing here is: are there cults and gangs?
This is apocalypse. People are weird. I'm gonna say highly probable.
So we have likely, very likely, near certain, or certain.
Uh,
Very likely.
Very likely.
Yeah, in my opinion, it's very likely.
Yeah.
No. Nope.
Sorry, Charles Manson, you're not allowed.
Sorry, Charles. So there are no cults and there's no gangs forming. That seems kind of weird.
It's kind of. Well, let's put it like the military perspective. There's no organized gangs or cults. There might be small pockets.
Okay, let's do that. Are there organized cults? I just changed the question to organized. Okay, so then we do this one to
neighborhood gangs and neighborhood cults.
Neighborhood. Ugh, can't spell. Neighborhood gangs, cults. Well, we got a no so far. So that backs it down to, since we were doing very likely, we could put down likely if you want.
All right, I go down to likely. No, let's keep it to very likely. Never mind.
A 100 exceptional. Oh shit. I mean, we can't do random events here, so it doesn't really count. Stop rolling.
The PC positive, the politically correct, positive, and cruel and jealous.
You know what? So it says exceptional no, but apparently there is a cruel and jealous person running a group somewhere.
Oh shit, Biff.
Maybe it's Biff.
It's Biff. He's the only gang cult there is out there.
We got a perfect 100 on that one, but okay.
Yeah, we did.
So let me tab that one forward. We'll put down. It's PC positive though. So how is that PC positive? So PC positive would focus on us being a positive for us. So that's the problem.
Player character, okay. So
it's about
he likes the way we do things, but he is very hostile towards us.
So it's a positive event that goes in our favor, but it involves cruelty and jealousy. That's what that all means.
Hey, you know what? It's our group. We're the we're the cult leaders / gang leaders.
Maybe our former group?
Maybe.
Norm Parker's former
the Norm cult
group. Former group turned into a cult or gang?
I'm gonna say likely if we're going with PC positive there.
Yeah, I'm putting that as just an actual fact for the game, so. Which we don't know about as players. As the GM, we do know about.
Correct.
So, yeah, I put down. Actually, you know what? I will move that over back to make it an actual fact. Norm and Parker's former group turned into a gang or a cult. So, what we can do with that is we can subdivide that and ask, is it a cult? Ask that question first.
Okay.
Fate question. Is it a cult? So I'm gonna leave it at unsure because we don't know right now. What do you think?
I'm gonna leave it unsure. it's 50-50.
Yes.
It's a cult. We unknowingly run a cult.
Well, not that we run a cult, we were part of a cult. That's what we're going with that. We didn't know.
I say it's a little bit more than that because we got PC positive with that.
I'm trying to make PC positive work.
So it has to work in our favor somehow, and more than just it. We're a part of it.
Maybe that's why we left. Because it was a cult, and maybe they were cruel and jealous, and we left.
Yeah, maybe we're just like, you guys can do your thing. We're gonna go on and get out of here. So,
well, technically,
we left.
Technically, our story is we got separated from them in a zombie, I guess, raid or whatever. Zombies raiding us, yeah. Panties, man.
Okay, I'm gonna say this just because you brought that up. I like the fact that it's 80s jocks zombies.
Yeah,
like Revenge of the Nerds and Animal House sort of style zombies.
So our former group is a cult that got raided. That got raided by zombies. We ran away and got separated, and now we're on the run from them.
That wouldn't fit our narrative of trying to get back into the cult.
Yeah, that's a problem. It's a PC positive, but then it gives us cruelty and jealousy, which doesn't make sense with the PC positive.
Maybe there was a fracturing of the cult.
That's what I'm trying to spin it as. We were raided, and the PC positive was that we found out that they were cruel and jealous people, so we got separated, quote unquote. And I don't know after that, and so
maybe we had to find the people that are actually with us and not trying to be assholes about the cult.
So that kind of changes us a little bit.
Yeah, so I say, like on the lines like there was a fracture in the cult, and people are like, this is the apocalypse. These guys don't know what they're talking about. They shouldn't be in charge. We should be in charge. They want to help everyone else. We should look out for ourselves. And there's a fracture in the cult, and some people follow us, some people didn't. Now we have to find out who is on our side.
So finding Parker and Norm's old group should be changed to something a little bit different. I'm trying to think what would be changed to, though. Are we still looking for the group, or are we not looking for the group?
Well, I thought we were looking for a group, not necessarily the whole cult. But I say our group, as in the people who actually allied with us, as opposed to the other cult.
Okay, I got it. Finding Parker and Norm's old group allies.
There you go.
That works better. Okay, so we got that in there.
Okay.
So it's a cult. The cult fractured.
The other guys wanted to follow a guy named
PCs escaped. Stop it. Escaped, but left behind allies. They must reconnect with allies and break away from the now formed cult. There. That's part of our backstory now.
Okay. That's good world building right there.
PCs escaped during zombie raid, but left behind. Okay, here it is. The cult fractured. PCs escaped due to zombie raid, but left behind allies. They must reconnect with their allies and break away from the now formed cult. There.
Correct.
Whew. All right. Last question we have here is: do we know what caused the zombie apocalypse?
Okay.
I don't really think
Um.
we would know.
All right. Put it as unlikely.
I'm going with very unlikely.
Very unlikely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah,
exceptional.
exceptional no. We don't really
All
know.
right. Does anybody know the cause for the zombie apocalypse?
5. Okay.
I would give that a likely. Somebody's got to know.
Does anyone know how it started? I would think some government official would probably know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I put down very likely.
Okay. Okay. Somebody knows how it started. Okay. Does anybody know the cure for it? Or no? What was the other question? Can is the cause of zombieism because of bites?
Oh, that I have to
Or,
go back
or
up.
should we find that out in game?
No, I mean we can flesh it out now. I mean, do bites cause people to turn to zombies? Sub question. Do do bi- everybody connected now? That's really weird.
Did we lose Twitch?
No, it'll be back. It's back now. I don't understand what happened. Yeah, I don't know. Do the bites cause people to die and turn into zombies? Well, we know we know they turn into zombies after death.
I'll give this a unsure. Because
Okay.
you added the death part. Because we know they after they die they become zombies, but do the bites cause death?
Yes.
So you get bit, you die.
Pretty much you're doomed.
Okay. So we're gonna have to get some armor. Do our characters know that?
Do Parker and Norm know this? Sub. And I'll put it as a sub of that former question because that's the one we're asking.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, 6 months. They've seen a bunch of stuff, so I'm gonna put likely.
Okay.
They probably, you know what? I'm gonna put very likely because I'm sure they've seen people die, get bitten, you know, things like that.
Okay.
No, we're fucking clueless.
That would make sense why we had to do a little test there in the gazebo. Right.
Yeah, that does.
So that fits. But we don't know if you if you get bit, you die.
We assume, like, because of every zombie movie out there, that if you get bit, you're doomed. That's all we know.
Yeah.
We don't know for a fact because we've never seen it.
Yeah, your character got hickey, so you got to be careful about that.
You didn't get a hickey, he got scratched. Stop. Do you want me to put scratches too?
No, let's leave scratches alone. 'Cause
Okay.
That's gonna mess with the lore a little bit. Because that's gonna cause a lot more zombification to happen.
That's true.
Bites only.
Okay. Font. Paragraph. Is there like... No, I thought there was like bolding and stuff. All right, whatever. Is it? Nope, that's clear format. All right, so we have... do bites cause people to turn to zombies after death? Yes, see day 5. Do bites cause people to die and turn to zombies? So once they get bitten, they pretty much fall into the whole, you know, start getting a fever and start feeling awful, and they slowly die and then turn into a zombie. Yes.
Oh, we forgot. Is there a cure, or is there a way to prevent people from turning into zombies?
Yes. Let's see if there's a way. So we'll put that as a subcategory. After bitten, is there there a way to stop zombification?
Okay.
Just we'll call it that. Zombification for ease.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And I'm going to put unsure.
Unsure.
Because if there's yes, I have an answer for it. If there's no, then I don't have an answer for it. It's no. No. There's no way to stop it. No.
Okay. Is there a way to cure it?
85. Is there a cure for bites? Again, it's unsure, so. Yeah, there's a cure.
Okay. So there's something. You can't stop the zombification, but you can, if you react fast enough, there's a way to stop the bite from infecting you.
There's a way, but we don't know what. Yeah, we don't know what it is. I mean, we could.
Know what it is.
We can assume. All right, let's ask this too. If bitten on a limb and it's cut off, will that prevent zombification? You understand what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like if I get bitten on my arm and we like quickly, cut it, cauterize it and stuff like that, will I be fine? And most zombie movies, that is kind of what happens, so that's why I'm going with that question. I'm gonna keep it as unsure because this universe, everything's unsure for now. No.
So it's not that. It's something, but it's not that.
No. So once you get bitten, you're fucked.
No, not necessarily. Because there's a cure. It's a cure for the bites. It's just not cutting up them. It's rubbing alcohol.
After bitten, do you have 48 hours? No, let's start with 72 hours. 72 hours before zombification. Understand what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah. After bitten, do you have 72 hours? So I'm going to put unsure because that's where we're going to keep it at for things we really don't know about.
Okay.
Exceptional, yes. All right, so you have 3 days.
You have more than 72 hours. Because it is exceptional, yes.
All right, so exceptional, yes, which was 1. We rolled a 1 on that one.
Yeah.
0, 1.
So we have more than 72 hours.
So it's just an exceptional, yes. I'll start here. More than, do you have 2 weeks? Fair enough.
Fair.
Unsure. Do we have 2 weeks? Yes. All right.
So, like I said, there's a cure for the bite.
Yes.
Gotta figure out what the cure is.
37. So the lore is that after you're bitten, you do turn into a zombie, but you have about 2 weeks before the whole process. You start getting sick and ill, and then you'll die and turn into a zombie. But you have 2 weeks to live. So, there.
What's the all right, I'll say this, right?
Yeah.
Once the zombification process has started, you cannot stop it. However, you have 2 weeks from the zombification process to start. Fair?
Well,
if you're just bitten, not if you die. If you die right there, you're a zombie.
yeah, if you get bitten, you have 2 weeks to figure out how to stop it.
Yeah.
Like a cure, I don't know, something or other.
No, I cure. It says a cure.
The problem is there a cure for bites, but we don't know where or what that cure is.
Would anybody know what the cure is? Somebody knows the cause. Does somebody know of the cure?
Oh, that brings us back down to this one. Do we know a cause? So does anyone know the cure yet? Unsure?
They're a band, right?
Huh? Yeah, shut up. Leaving it as unsure. Well, I'm going to actually put it more like a likely, because if somebody knows how it started, that means someone's been working on something.
Yeah, doesn't necessarily they know. I mean, I would say likely and not highly likely, because just because they know how to start, it doesn't mean know how to cure it.
Yes.
Okay. That's good.
61. So I guess the sub question of that would be, does Parker and Norm know someone is working on a cure? That's kind of a good like sub plot for us, because if we know that someone, like, maybe there's, well, let's find out first if it, because I have a whole thing in my head now already for this question. So
I have a question in mind for that question too. So
what do you want to put it as? Unsure or?
This is the PCs after all, so there's got to be a little bit of
Likely?
story behind it. So yeah, I would say likely. Not highly likely, just likely.
Exceptional, yes. Okay.
Oh, we know who this is.
Okay. Exceptional, yes. I'll explain mine, and then you can explain yours, and then we'll decide which one to go with. Exceptional, yes. I just want to write this down. Hold on. 05. So Parker and Norm, while they were with the group, heard it on a radio transmission, because ham radios exist. People still use them in this time. In fact, in an apocalypse situation, ham radios are probably the first line of communication.
Right.
So they heard through the ham radio communications that there is a group that is working on a cure and possibly maybe has a cure, and maybe we have some leads to where they're coming, like state-wise, where they are. And that's our goal for us to get there to find out if it's actually true or someone just lying.
Okay. That's a good one.
What's your story?
I will go with this. All right.
Hmm?
The schism that affected the cult, we weren't actually part of a cult. We were actually part of a group that was working on curing the zombies. That's where the schism happened. Some people didn't want to go back to their lives before the zombies because they liked the power they had. But we know the person who was working on the cure was in our group before, and that's why we're trying to get our side of the group back together.
So you're saying our cult was researching?
Some people would say a cult, but I would say it was more of a research group trying to cure the
okay.
zombification.
So how about it was a research? Well, we're not really. Well, I'm a coder, so that could have made sense. But so maybe this is, and I like your story a little bit better. So okay, I got it.
So somebody didn't want to the zombies to end because they didn't want to go to their mundane lives again.
Right. So this is what happened. There was a scientist in the group that was researching the cure. We knew about this.
All right.
He started making some breakthroughs in the situation, and people started kind of looking up to him as a leader and idol in the group.
Okay, an idol. Maybe not necessarily a leader, but definitely an idol.
An idol in the group, maybe like, kind of like how a cult leader starts forming. This guy has the answers, and maybe it went to his head.
A
And
savior complex.
yeah, he had a savior complex that went to his head, and then people were like, "Oh yeah, you must listen to Jimmy or whatever his name is. The Jimmy is always right," things like that. And we were like, this is becoming a little nutty. And there was a bunch of people that were with us that were like, yeah, and then we had a confrontation, and that's when the zombies started busting out of maybe like the test cages and stuff like that. And we ran.
Okay,
We
so-
couldn't, our allies didn't follow us because they didn't know where we went.
Okay. So we were just I don't know if I like the scientist being the evil guy, because that kind of kills the thing for the curing of the
Well,
curing
to
of the
him, he's
zombie.
not evil. He's not evil.
All right, so he's not evil.
It's
But
just people turned him into a savior,
Okay.
and it went to his head. He's not necessarily evil, but
He
He's
could
a
become evil.
yeah, I mean, he could with a. So, scientist working on cure. People turned him into a modern day savior. Maybe it went to his head. Norm Parker formed a fractional group and confronted scientist and his group test zombies then broke out and started attacking. Group fled. And
How about this?
split.
Instead of he got a savior complex, I would say he still has a savior complex, but I would say the people who are trying to make him into a savior are the fraction off. I would say
I put
We were
maybe it went to his head. I didn't say it.
us and our group were going to confront him to try to, get him to go back to working on his cure, and the people who were
Yeah,
worshiping him, it was like, no, you can't talk to him. And so
yeah, like we were gonna confront him, and all of a sudden, boom! Like all these zombies broke out. Now,
yeah, it wasn't
Maybe-
necessarily him we were confronting, but his group.
yeah, maybe the zombies broke out because his group did that to try to stop us, but it got out of control.
Yeah, I would say maybe a fight started breaking out and someone hit a button somewhere,
Yeah.
but we still have to find him and get that cure. If he
So-
still exists, which I think he still exists.
Thread list. Okay, so that adds a new thread. Let's see here. Find
Jeez,
group
we were gonna do this
allies.
for 30 minutes.
What's that?
I said we were only going to do this for 30 minutes.
Well, we had all these questions you wanted to
We had
ask.
to get
So
some good questions.
finding old group allies, and so finding old group allies is one thing. Then maybe finding
Ultimately saving the professor. Let's just say he's a professor.
finding
Scientist.
group.
Saving the scientist.
You want to call him professor instead of a scientist?
Let's say scientist. Yeah, saving the scientist.
Finding group scientist and see if he found the cure. The cute. That works.
The cute cure.
Okay, so we have finding group scientist and see if he found the cure.
Okay, that's some pretty good goals in saving the world from zombies.
Yep, so we have our normal find food and water. That's gonna always be there unless something tells us, that we found enough. We can kind of cancel that out. Finding our group allies, our old group allies. Help Lily hide from Biff, the one-armed lame man with the British accent. Help Lily find the stash house, which will probably go away real soon. And finding group scientist and see if he found a cure.
I can't wait to hear your British accent. I'm pretty sure it's going to be your American.
I don't
Yes,
think I'm
I'm
gonna
British. I'm totally
Yes,
British.
Don't ever laugh as the hearse goes by, for you may be the next to die. They wrap you up in a big white sheet, from your head down to your feet. They put you in
We can
a big...
actually get into playing.